It's a wise thing when you can increase your capacity to believe differently. Living in the shadow of someone else's life is a hard way to live. We all have worth, and our worth is not tied up in what we do, but rather whose we are. It was 6:15 in the morning. The house was silent. I had just gotten back from dropping my husband off at the airport. He was catching a 7 a.m. flight to Toronto. I took my normal spot on the couch with tea in hand and marveled at how beautiful the bright blue sky and white marshmallowy clouds appeared from over the tops of the tall evergreens. The hummingbirds were finishing the nectar in their feeders. All seemed so perfect. Yet I felt gloomy, almost invisible, like I just didn't matter. My husband was always in demand. The headlines of the Cape Breton Post read, "Homeboy does good," and that's just one of the articles that's been written about him. His story has been in several well-known magazines. I've even attended a prestigious dinner with him where he was awarded the Queen's Medal. The most outstanding thing is the complete story in a book called The Caper, written by Joanne Jacquard. I can't even imagine how many hundreds of thousands have gone all over the world. It's been translated in French, and it's in prisons, schools, and detention centers all across Canada. I thought, how pleased God must be with him and all he's accomplished over the years. I was having a feel sorry for me moment. I made my choices. For instance, I gave up a government job to be a stay-at-home mom, and I remember when I did that. My thought was, if my grown children take the wrong path, I won't be able to blame the babysitter. I'm going to have to say I gave up a good job to make this mess. It wasn't easy for me to walk away from that job, but I felt that God gave me the children and I needed to be with them. Those were the best days in my life because I never felt so needed. They're all grown now, and I realize that children have to find their own way in life too, and sometimes it's hard to watch them grow. I asked the Lord to allow me to do something worthy in His sight, and the moment those words came out of my mouth, I knew it wasn't His sight I wanted to be worthy in. It was everyone else's, my family, my friends, my peers. I wanted recognition. I felt like I was living in the shadow of my husband's glory, and I wanted my own. Does that sound a little prideful to you? I sat there feeling worse than before, because now I added pride to my list of shortcomings. It was then I heard the Lord softly say, "What did Mary do to forever be remembered?" I thought to myself, Lord, that's not even a fair question. She was the mother of your son, Jesus. Then He continued, "Yes, but what did she have to do with all of that? Was she responsible in any way to make it happen, other than giving me her permission?" You're right, Lord, as usual. She didn't have a lot of input. You overshadowed her and caused it all to take place. His next words really got my attention. "What did you do to get your book all across Canada and every other place it's gone?" he said. "My book?" I questioned. "Yes. Without you, The Caper is a story of an ex-offender who did drugs and alcohol. You're the happy ending. Most inmates only dream of the white picket fence, a wife that loves them, and some children. You're the one he carried the lunch can for." Wow! I had never thought about it being my book too. And I never had to do any drugs or go to jail or any of that other nasty stuff either. I just had to say yes when God told me to marry him, which wasn't too popular with my family either, I might add, but probably no less than it was for Joseph to marry a pregnant woman back in Bible times. I blurted out a short prayer. "God, I love you so much. You never cease to amaze me. You're so awesome. You've never given up on me. You're so faithful and patient. Thank you, Lord, for showing me, just for a moment, what it's like to see through your eyes. They're always so different from mine." This is Lynda Lewis reminding you to make responsible choices and ask God for wisdom. And remember this little jingle. Knowledge is acquiring facts. Understanding is interpreting facts, but wisdom is the application of those facts.